Hi, my name is Vivian Conti, and I'm here today to talk to you about stress. We all know what stress is. We have it every day. But do you know what it does to your body and how your body reacts to stress? That's what I'm going to talk to you about today. Stress, it's an emotion. It's a physical response to the threat to our system. There are many types of stress. There's your day-to-day stress. There's your long-term stress. I'm going to talk about the long-term stress first. That's also considered post-traumatic disorder or PTSD. And in that, with your long-term stress, your body sends out these alarms, and those alarms trigger the release of your hormones. And then what happens is we try to cope with it, and that's the resistance end. And the result of that is that levels of glucose go up, our energy levels stay up for a while, and our blood pressure increases. What happens over time, though, we deplete this, and the depletion of this in our body and the ability to really do anything, it's called exhaustion. We've gone ahead and we've depleted the energy. Our immune system is now on the decrease. The ability to go ahead and fight off common colds is at a decrease. The ability to cope mentally or physically when you're exhausted is nearly impossible. And over time, your body's organs can just go ahead and shut down and possibly lead to death. Stress as an emotion. Stress releases hormones into our system, and these hormones increase our blood sugar, and it prepares us for the incoming threat to our system, if it be long-term or if it be short-term. Stress can break down our immune system, which is like fighting off the common cold. It makes that very difficult. The long-term chronic stress, it increases the release of cortisol, the production of which over time can lead to fatigue and depression. Stress is also a large contributor to heart disease, high blood pressure, and hypertension. It is not the only cause, however, it is really up there on the scale. Now, we all have stress, and our day-to-day stresses can come in different shapes, different sizes. It doesn't really matter. It's the way that we handle these threats that matters. For men, they see things a little bit on the black and white. So for them, it's a fight or flight approach. If they're able to fight it, they go ahead and do so. If not, they just let it go. They push it off to the side and as if it was not there. When men do that, they think they let go, but they don't. What they do is they just hold on to that stress and they internalize it. Women, on the other hand, they tend to befriend. And when that approach is taken, a hormone called oxytocin is released. And this hormone is known as the affection hormone. It explains why women are healthier and die less often from heart disease than men. Men tend to internalize and hold on to the stress. They tend to do the fight or flight, where we do the tend to befriend. And with the tend to be a friend, it gives us a social network of people who we can communicate with. And when we communicate, our stress levels go down. We talk to people in like situations, we communicate with them, and we lend them an ear. Here are a few words for our stress library. One is optimism. I think of mental attitude and seeing things as half full and hopeful, being happy. Another word is self-efficacy. For me, it's a behavior, a belief, a positive belief. What do you think about when you hear the word hardiness. Something's hardy. It's the physiological. It's endurance. It's your personality, your stamina. My director, he was invited to be a keynote speaker, but about an hour before he was to speak, his computer crashed, and he had the only version of the PowerPoint that was edited. And at that point, I have to tell you, I got really stressed out. So the stress that I received, it gave me, the first thing that happened is my physiological stress responders were sent out. I had emotions of panic. I was overwhelmed. And then the physical part started. The physical manifestation of this stress happened, which was I began to sweat and I started to have like panic attack. And I thought, by taking a deep breath, and after I reassessed the situation, I realized that there was an immediate solution and the panic kind of subsided. And the feeling of overwhelmment was still there a little bit because I had to get it done, but it wasn't as bad. The physical effects had started to calm down as well. So in that situation, the reassessing of what really is taking place, what that stress is, and how we can possibly let it go is just something that we're going to need to do on a daily basis. On the other hand, I overcommitted myself, overwhelmed, and the physical effect of it was that I started crying and I was nasty to those who were trying to help me and reason with me. So stress comes in many different shapes and sizes, and how we handle it is completely up to us. Exercising is wonderful. It releases endorphins into your system, which will make you feel happy, as well as it will help you to sleep better. Doing anything that will give you a positive reaction, those are all ways of handling stress, your day-to-day stresses. Thank you so much for the time. I hope that you've learned a little bit about stress and how to handle it. And I look forward to talking to you again soon. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.